Hi there, it's Jen. It's Friday, July 12th, and I am live here with you. And I'm going to make a Stampin' Up! Card from start to finish. So I hope that you can join me. If you are joining me, just let me know whether you're joining me live or whether you're catching the replay later. So I've been a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator for over 21 years, and I do a live every week broadcast here to Facebook and also to YouTube. So I use Stampin' Up! Products, and if you don't currently have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and you need a catalog, just let me know and I'm happy to get you one as long as you're in Canada. Okay, so let me jump first of all to show you what I made last week, because what I like to do is I like to do a draw for the card that I made last week. So I used this pretty stamp set called Prize Peony, and we did this really cool 3D thing. I actually started with a simpler card here, this simple one here, and then expanded it to this more complicated one. Just drop the card I'm making today. So what I do is if you've liked, commented, or shared, then I put you in a draw for that. So I am going to just switch over to that screen and do the draw. And I'm also going to say hello to Nicole, who's joining me live. Hello, hello. How are you today? So as long as you have commented or liked or shared, you're going to be automatically in this draw that I used. And as long as you are Canadian and not a demonstrator, you can win. So here we go. Let's see who is coming up. So Beth, actually Beth is a demonstrator. She's in Newfoundland, but I'm getting the replay. I wouldn't miss it. That's funny that she's watching on vacation. So I'm going to just pick another winner because Becca said Beth is a demonstrator. So Canadian and not a demonstrator. Nancy Goldie. Geez, Nancy, I think you've won a couple times. This is really good luck. So buy a lotto ticket, Nancy. Nancy Goldie. Congratulations. I will get that card in the mail to you. Congratulations. So let me just stop this share here. And like I said, to get in on this week's draw, just comment, like, or share. Hello to Nancy and Cheryl. Cheryl says, I hope you're having a good day. I am. How about you? It's a beautiful day here, and of course it's a Friday, so that's all good. And I'm getting my nails done right after this, so I'm very excited about that. Nicole says, congratulations, Nancy. That's a gorgeous card. Yes, I hope you'll like it. So I'm going to start here right away. I'm using my glass mat today, which you notice I don't always use it, and the reason is just because it gets this reflection from my lights. So I've got a little piece of vellum there to help dull that out, but I really needed it today, and I love using it. So I actually have it off to the side, and that's where I do my crafting. But when I do my lives, I take it away just because of the glare. So I'm going to use it today because I need it for what I'm going to do. And I'm going to build a background with this card first, and then I'm going to show you the whole card and actually stamp something at the end too. So I want to show you first of all that I'm using this stuff here, which is the 3-color glimmer paper, and it's got Highland Heather, Petal Pink, and Pretty Peacock. So look how gorgeous this is. So there's the Petal Pink, that's what I said. So Petal Pink, shimmer shimmer, and check out the peacock. It is stunning. Let's see here. Ooh, so pretty. So of course I love purple, so I'm using that Highland Heather. So I've got here some strips of cardstock. If I can pick it up here. So including a piece of that glimmer paper. So these are all cut at 3/4 of an inch. So this is a great thing to do if you've got like little 1-inch scraps to do a card like what I'm about to do. So I am going to start by grabbing my seal here, and it looks like it's almost out, so that's okay. I've got another one here. Nicole says, I love the glimmer paper, and Cheryl loves purple too. What's not to love with purples, right? I have my purple nails on. I'm not sure if I'm going to switch that out or not. Haven't decided yet. Okay, so I'm going to work on it this way, and I've just got a sample in front of me, so I'm going to follow that. So I'm going to start with a strip of, this is fresh freesia, and I'm going to put some tape down near the bottom here. And this is going to go right on here like this. Okay, so you can see why I want the glass mat, because if this sticks here, I can pull it up still, whereas if it was on paper, a paper background, like grid paper or my regular sort of wood grain thing that I use, it would stick to the paper instead. So I'm going to just lay these on here with a little bit of border in between. So that's the Highland Heather Glimmer. And then I'm going to move here to, this is a new in color. This is Petunia Pop. And I think that's big enough. Yep. So these were just scraps that I had that I cut down to size. Oops, and I can see I did this one. This one needs to go over just a little bit. I'm going to carefully peel it up. That's okay that it did that because no one's going to see that. I'm just going to retape it. And I'll show you what I did wrong, which I'll fix. Good that I made a mistake right off the top, right? So it just needs to go over a little bit more. There we go. I need it to go right off the edge, okay? So that when I trim it, it's going to fit on that paper perfectly. Okay, so now let's get the Petunia Pop in here. Do I have enough tape on there? I might need a little bit more near the end. Okay, so same idea, a little bit of a gap. Looks like I widened the gap on that one. But see here, this one, it's not off the edge. I need it to go right off the edge. Okay. Actually, it's good with a wider gap because it'll compare to my other one, which has got a narrower gap, my sample. Okay, and then I'm going to take a piece of the Highland Heather. Love these three purples together. So this one's going to go right like that. So I need tape pretty much on the whole thing. I don't know why I turned it over. There's no right or wrong side to this paper. Funny. And so now my vellum is in the way. I'll remove that and we'll live with the lights. Let's make that gap even. Okay. And then I'm going to grab another piece of Highland Heather. And you're going, wait, that's not the right sequence. But I'm going to do this. I'm going to make it come off this way. And I've learned a little trick here making a few of these. If you can cover the corners, it just makes life a lot easier when you're covering up the corners for cutting the trim after. Okay, so then we got to go back to the Petunia Pop. And I know this is going to be too big. Actually, I think I'm still going to leave it long. It's easier to cut it down because then I can use the scraps again. And then it's going to go here. Like so. So now I'm just trying to line up these edges here. And now I need the glimmer paper. So I am going to have to peel this up carefully. Okay, and I'm going to take some paper snip scissors. Now this is something that's going to gum up my scissors, especially since I have extra tape here. You can see that. So this is a time when I would take my rubbing alcohol afterwards and just clean the scissors. So the little wee bits are no good, but the long bits are good. So I'm going to keep those off to the side. So I'm just trimming this on the back. This one might actually be good too. Look at that one. And here we go. So can you imagine all the scraps that you might have? You could make a design like this work. Okay, I'll just trim the other ones later. I've got what I need here. So there's lots of tape on this, so I'm going to stick with this end, which means I need to even it up. I could use my paper trimmer, but I'm going to be okay with eyeballing it. And it's still got lots of tape on it, but I'm going to add just a little bit more. And then this is going to go here. I don't know where that dimensional back came from. I'm not even using dimensionals yet. Like so. And then the next one is this fresh freesia again. So now here is the first trick. I'm actually going to put this one on after because it's going to go like that. So it's a really teeny tiny piece and it has a tendency to fall off. So I'm going to wait for a second and instead I'm going to do it this side. They're sticking to me. Everything is sticking to me. But you could be quite economical about this and really use up all your scraps. So I need that, and then I need glimmer again. So I'm going to peel this up again. I really stuck it on there well. Okay, and here we go. And again, I've got lots of tape on this end of it, so I'm going to cut that end. That doesn't look straight, does it? Let me fix that up, and I'll check your comments there in a second. So more tape. I'm getting sticky. Here we go. Maybe a little bit of a bigger gap. Okay, so I need fresh freezer for this little spot and fresh freezer for this little spot. So I'm going to cut this off again. Actually, I'll do all this cutting too. And then we're going to use our liquid glue to really get a super strong bond. Actually, I used my liquid glue before, so I think what I might do is I might grab my Seal Plus for this one. You just need a stronger glue because you need it to really bond because it's just a small little spot, so you don't have lots of, there's probably some scientific thing for it. someone who knows. There's not as much material to grab. Let's get rid of that. All these little bits I don't need, so you can go all on the floor. Vacuuming the room this weekend. Okay, so let's just even this up here and here. And I'm going to cut this in half. That looks like it's a good size. Those little triangles would almost work, but so I think I might try this Seal Plus and see if that is strong enough. So I'm going to really add a lot of tape here. I got a little bit extra. I don't know if you can see that. It's kind of wrapping around, so I'm just going to fold it. This is super strong adhesive. And I'm going to stick it down here. Okay, and the same with this part over here. Although it's already pretty sticky, but I don't want it to go anywhere. We'll see if this was a mistake because I did use a liquid glue before, but then I had to let it sit and wait to dry. So here we go. Just going to give that a second. Nicole says a good way to use scraps. And Nicole says, I think I remember you doing this design previously. Absolutely right, Nicole. I did. And this is one of those designs that I love, so I use it multiple times. I actually have it sitting up on my wall, and it is a design that I will use over and over again. That's kind of like the whole idea of our sketches, is these designs that you use a lot of. You know, how can you repurpose them? How can you make them look a little bit different? And so this is one of the ways. So in fact, I should pull that other one down to show you at the end too. That seems to be staying. That's good. And this one. Yes, there we go. Yay. Now I could put something down here, but I think it's going to be fine, especially if I put it in the bottom left. And I'm actually going to use the design this way in my one that I did before. I think I used it this way. I'll pull it down. I'm going to grab it right now and just have it here ready. Okay, so now let me do some stamping. And I didn't even use that piece, so I'll just tuck that aside and use it. And all these little wee bits that I have on the side are probably reusable as well. Okay, so I have already die cut this with this die here. It's the 1, 2, 3 in, and it is called the Countryside Corner die. So they're just a nice die shape, and I just like the angles on here because I thought it reminded me of that. And I'm going to use this stamp set, which I've used recently, The Happiest Day. It was also featured in my newsletter. I've got this cute little dragonfly that you can double stamp, a sun, some little things you can put in the corners, and some nice sayings. So I'm going to use my favorite one. You make me feel like glitter in the sun. So this is why I needed some glitter paper. I already have the stamp out here. And of course, I'm going to use the matching 3 inks. So I'm going to start with Petunia Pop. Hello, Eileen. How are you? Thank you for joining me. So I'm going to do this, and I'm going to make the U be straight and the rest of it be a little bit crooked. Okay, like that. Isn't that fun? You make me feel like glitter in the sun. So we needed some glitter on there for sure. Okay, so then I've got these 3 pieces from that stamp set, and they form a little rainbow. So I'm going to start with Highland Heather, seeing as that is the predominant color on this card, because I've got it not only in cardstock but also in the glitter paper. So I'm going to stamp the outside of the rainbow with Highland Heather, and then we'll move to the Fresh Freesia. And we got the middle of the rainbow. And yes, rainbows totally can be purple. And then I'm going to do a little bit of the Petunia Pop. Okay, so super cute little rainbow. And then I'm going to take, this is the piece that goes with the sun. So it's like the halo on the sun, but we're just going to use it as a accent piece. So I need a piece of scrap paper. So let me just see here. I've got a bunch of die cuts, but I just totally don't want to waste them. So I've got a little piece of scrap here. So I'm going to take, this is Highland Heather. I'm going to stamp it first on here and then on here because I don't want it to be too dark. So first on my scrap paper and then on here. So look at that cute little accent it gives it. Just a little bit. And then, so let me just put away these ink pads. And I'm going to pull out some bling. We need more bling on here. Let's give these guys all a shove away. And I'm just going to make sure there's nothing on here that will get over my card base, which is going to be basically white. And I'm going to fold this in half, just lining up those corners and grabbing a bone folder, scoring that. Okay, so I'm going to stick this piece on, so just make sure the card is opening the right way. That is a thing that you only do a couple times and then you remember. Now this is quite a heavy piece, right, because we've got all that card stuff in there, so I'm going to put lots of tape on here. And is that the way I want it to go? Oh, it's a little bit, no, it's not different in my sample, but you know what, maybe I will make it different in this one so we can compare. Although I just don't like that white piece up in that corner, but that's all right. I think once we have the other stuff on, you won't notice it. So I'm centering that on there. You can barely even tell it's a layer. And I see this little piece is coming up a little bit. That's probably where I ripped the paper. So we're going to do a quick little repair with a glue dot. And I will check your comments there in a second. So I'm going to grab a glue dot. I don't know why I didn't rip that off. You can rip that off once you've used up all that paper. So I'm going to grab one glue dot. I'm going to lay it in here. Operation. And then close that up. Oh, get under there, you, or come off, one or the other. There we go. Okay, that's good. So we're going to take this and we're going to lay it like this, or maybe like this. Actually, I think I might put it, it is different than my sample, so I just don't know what to do. So I'm going to put a little bit of tape here. If your tape ever doesn't roll, just use your finger and advance it just a little bit. Mine's about to run out. That's part of why it's not rolling very well. And then I'm going to use this ribbon, which I've used recently too. It's the iridescent ribbon. It might be my favorite new ribbon. It's so pretty. It's sheer, but it's got an iridescent quality to it. So it just picks up all those pinks and purples beautifully. So I'm going to just do a little buckle of it here. And like this. And then I'm going to just fold it over. Voila. And then we'll get some dimensionals out. I just opened a package of dimensionals. Where are they? There they are. Okay, and I'm going to use dimensionals to help hold that in place because it already is coming up on me. You can see that purple shimmer on that ribbon. It's so pretty. Yay for glue dots, Eileen says. Absolutely. I love glue dots. You need all the adhesives. Who's kidding who? You need a liquid glue, you need a two-sided glue, you need dimensionals. But these are kind of the basic things, and they last quite a long time, right? There are 300 dimensionals in that one package for like $5 or whatever it is. So it's pretty good. Okay, so this is going to go on here like this. So we can actually see all the glitter papers, very pretty. And then of course we'll add some other bling too. So let me just hold it up so far. Bling, bling. Okay, so we'll start with the Wink of Stella, which I know doesn't always show up on camera, but trust me when I say we need a glittery rainbow. There we go. So when I hold it up, maybe you'll be able to see that. And then I've got these gems here. These are they are called Tinsel Gems 3-pack. You've seen me use them before. Misty Moonlight, Fresh Freesia, and Lost Lagoon. So we've got the Fresh Freesia in here, so that's a perfect match. So I'm going to grab those. One. So always odd numbers, 1, 2, and 3, like that. So here we go. Voila! So pretty and glittery. I don't know if again if that rainbow will show up glittery. So let me show you my original one. So you can see the layout of the paper is just a little bit different. This is I did it exactly the same. I just turned it differently, so it looks a little different. It looks like there's actually one more piece of petunia pop on here, just the way I laid it out, and that's fine. Oh, I think it's also because there's less of a gap on this one than there is on this one. So do you have a preference? And Nicole is very right in saying that this was my inspiration, was a card that I made before. So this is without glitter paper. And I picked up, there's 4 colors here, and I picked all 4 colors in the design. This is a retired stamp set now, but I still love this. And you can see I've put it this way. So there we go. Eileen says, lovely card. Nicole says, beautiful ribbon. And Nancy says that the glitter really stands out, doesn't it? Like if you know someone who likes glitter, this is the perfect card for them. So, and beautiful ribbon. I like the sweet little rainbow. So do I. I've been just dying to use that rainbow, and it is so, so sweet. I think it would be really cute in a background with maybe multicolors or something. That would be super cute way to do it too. So anyways, that is what I've got for you guys today. And are you doing anything exciting this weekend? We are actually going to Toronto to see a play, so I'm very excited about that. And I get to see my son, which is always nice too. So let me know what you're doing. And I'll probably do a little crafting because, you know, because I can. So let me know in the comments what you're doing this weekend. And thank you so much for your comments. Cheryl saying such a lovely design, and Nicole says she loves this card. Well, that is awesome. I realize my camera is up quite far, so I will post this on my blog. I've actually almost got all the other cards ready to go and post, so you can see them front and center here. I'll put this makes it a little bit easier to see. So okay, thank you so much for joining me, guys, and have a wonderful weekend, whatever you're doing, and I will see you all again next week. Take care. Bye bye now.